Welcome in to this week's episode of Unrolled Stories, a weekly D&D campaign set in the world of Elvoria. We are back with these wonderful humans to roll some dice, attempt some questionable accents, and hopefully tell a decent story. Last week was our 50th episode, so at the culmination of that, you can all have inspiration for having completed 50 episodes of this insane, slow-moving game.
We're still alive.
You are still alive, just about in some cases.
We've gone to 2 civilizations.
We don't have any particular announcements at the start of this week. Obviously, we do still have the podcast slowly catching up. I have no idea what episode we're on at this point, but we are getting there until we're caught up. Please do go like, review, etc. We are on Apple and Spotify. But main ones, as always, in this game, we make use of the Reimagined Classes, which are available on the DM's Guild as a bundle, allowing you to embody Balrick, Lesley, Aderyn, and Ximori at your tables, or however else you want to play those classes. Especially since some people don't like the new ranger that's coming. Try my version. You might like it more. And as always, NPC art in this Let's Play is provided by Aderyn and Jelini's Art Venturing Guild. Character art was produced by @Live Doodles, and Chibi battle map art, if it's used, was made by WeTheDreamingDesigns. Do definitely check out those artists if you can, and do not use AI for any reason when it comes to art or creative purposes. If you're in the science field, we can have a discussion. That's for Emma. With that out of the way, I think it's time to continue telling our story. Last time out, having escaped the sewers underneath Gédothras, you split up, one of you going and signing off the various paperwork needed for your excursion underneath, the rest of you getting a nice clean in and then heading to the Jade River Spa, or River of Jade Spa, to relax and unwind in varying states of undress, the lot of you. Conducting your own particular rituals as you used to calm down. After which you attended a show following evening mass, where the dueling troupe known as the Sunlit Waves performed on the stage, captivated their audience, and brought the house down with a fantastic display. And shortly afterwards, drawn into the idea of display combat, Lesley challenged their open duelist, Dobu Fang, to an open duel to possibly join as a newfound member of the Sunlit Waves. Lesley, in a very tense and equally matched duel of very different styles, was victorious and managed to draw first blood, or symbolically draw first blood against Dobu Fang, and was offered a place on the Sunlit Waves, although told, let's discuss things after the festival rather than detailing business matters now. At the end of which, you all eventually returned to the home you had been borrowing from Tarquin of Fidian Shu, and went to bed. At which point, you all found yourselves in a particular dream. In a hall of exposed wooden beams with rows of handcrafted seating An open dance floor with couples dancing to a symphonic melody. The violin plays from the stage. Upon that same stage, a waltzing figure in a cloak of leaves of falling in autumn. In their hands, a beautiful violin of funeral pyre warmth. The tumbling song of sun setting over burning skies billows as they move through the crowd, and the curtain of crackling red hair frames a face of blazing beauty. Oh, I'm so glad you could make it. And now, in your own each individual dreams, we are going to find out what happens. Balrick, you find yourself in a ballroom. Quite nicely made, but not posh or fancy by any means. You can spot a crest of arms above the stage, a field of blue, and a pearl surrounded by swan wings. And behind you, wide open, almost barn-sized doors that lead out to the night outside, where you can see the shapes of hills blocking the starlight, and a lake in front of them catching the moon's glow and the spinning fragments of the broken celestial body next to it. And on the stage, advancing towards you, violin in hand, is Aderyn. I'm so glad you could make it. Come in, let's talk.
Do I have weaponry on me? Have I got all my gear?
You find yourself in what you would usually be wearing to go to sleep or relax, in a
full armor. Probably actually do have the leathers on me, but yeah, unarmed. Balrick is very tense, and I think he's going to stay silent as he does follow Aderyn.
It is a wonderful display during the festival. These people are quite fabulous in their efforts to display their generosity. In truth, my disagreement is not with them, but with those who made decisions. Unfortunately, fires have been lit that cannot be put out. And until new life is birthed from the ashes, there is no need to stop them. You, a man of the woods, you seek nothing more than return to the wilds, away from civilization, peaceful. It's all I desire to. You and I share the same pain.
Not at the cost of innocent lives. Never at the cost of innocence.
I agree, and yet innocent lives of my own people have been lost. Is that not a equation that must be balanced?
So you seek vengeance, do you?
It's what I'm for. It's what I was sent for. It's what I'm here, left alone to do.
I've faced sorrows which I can never get vengeance for, and I do not think that it's something that we should aspire for. I cannot. What do you want with me? You're not just showing me something.
I saw in you and your fellows kindred sparks that, if kindled, could understand. Am I mistaken? Do you accept the existence of a greedy nation, never satisfied, their hunger wasting away at her beauty?
You spin sweet words. just because we share an enemy doesn't make us friends.
Well, it is disappointing to hear. I mean, it is going to be a beautiful sight when I'm finished, and I would hate for you to miss out on those woods.
I don't know that Balrick has a reply. He's very torn.
A rekindling is coming, Balrick. A lighting of a flame that this world has not seen in a long time. But first an announcement must come. You're welcome to come and revel in it. And then you feel the room in that classic dream way just become distant, like the world is stretching. And the glow of the candlelight and the candelabras in this space begins to grow and be emboldened as you drift off into darkness and into full sleep. Aderyn, you find yourself in a beautifully put together hall, somewhere between a elegant dance hall and a town barn that is the center of the town. Arrayed, handcrafted seating on the edges and a large dance floor in the center with numerous couples waltzing away as Amhrain, the red-headed figure, approaches you with violin in hand. I'm so glad you could make it. Come, dance with me, lovely lady.
Better than my usual dreams, I suppose. Except for dance.
He hands out a hand, the violin, forgotten, a memory on the wind, as he takes your hand and begins waltzing you around. What do you think of the song I've been singing?
I think it is quite the incendiary tune to be throwing about.
It's very true, it's certainly catchy.
Perhaps it shouldn't.
What makes you say that? Surely my message is one of hope and renewal to those who are listening properly.
Those who die can't really stop to listen.
And those who died before no longer live to remember. You've spent your whole life running away from those who hate you, who fear you. Within the fire, you can listen to the crackling promise of a new day.
And I am not one to prohibit someone's quest for whatever it is you're doing. Some sort of hopeful tomorrow, vengeance for a horrible past, I don't know. But surely these fires should be directed to, I don't know, the people who deserve it and not the innocent.
There was so many broken promises, those many seasons ago. Betrayal of gifts and ever needing more. You feel the flickering light on the edges just burn brighter. I do this all for her.
Huh?
The ignorance of growth of a greedy society. They've forgotten what made this land whole. For a queen that asked for peace and was met with axes and pain.
Whose axes? The Empire?
Men, elves, all of them turned their back on ancient powers beyond their understanding, and what is left but myopic fields of grain and food designed only to feed an ever-hungry populace. A spark of wonder has been left from this world, Aderyn. They only seek to return it. Can't you understand that?
Not the way you speak. Not with the riddles you utter.
There is coming a rekindling that will allow what was once old to spring forth anew, and with it, old vengeances shall be left in the ash, and they can finally sleep.
These old powers you speak of, this queen.
She was my queen. Until at that point, you feel yourself pulled away. You take in the last few vestiges as your dream begins to fade into the inky darkness of sleep, of the stars above, and a lakeside by the hills. And then you fall away into darkness. Lesley, you find yourself in a dance hall of some rustic proportions, although clearly care has been taken into its construction. A wide dance floor with couples dancing, and through their motion, unperturbed as they almost seem to shift out of their way, is Aderyn. Their flowing hair falling into their cloak as they approach with a violin still playing a melodic tune of sorrow and fire. I'm so glad you could make it. Come in, enjoy the performance. What a fresh face to have.
I'm great, Lesley. Sorry, it's been a long time.
I'm certain it is for you, but time rolls with the seasons, as it were.
Actually, it's been about 5 days, but it feels like a long time.
No, come join the spectacle, the roar of the fire and the dancing flames. This is going to be a show that will go down in history. Which you can certainly be a part of if you wish.
Is he standing like an invitation to stand with him and watch, or is it like a?
Yeah, so there is a fireplace to one side, and he's just like gesturing towards it as a kind of walk with me in this direction.
Lesley is gonna walk with him.
He puts a hand out. What do you make of the song I've been performing?
It reminds me of a song I've heard before, actually.
Oh, really? Please do tell. I love a story I've not heard before.
Like when we were in Calcuth, I think I heard a song of a similar vein. But this one sounds maybe a little more complex, if I'm right.
I've had time to survey this world as it now is. I was imprisoned in that icy silence for so long. It's taken a while to restoke the embers, as it were. But I think I'm beginning to understand that not much has changed after all.
I don't know how long you've been gone for, but often people struggle to change. That doesn't mean that they can't. Sometimes they take a nudge.
Well, they've been given a chance before, and still they desecrate this land with fields of monotony and recycled existence. They taint the cycle, warp it to their mortal whims, and have long forgotten the power of old Earth.
I think I've found that mortals themselves, ourselves, can be quite powerful in our own way. I think maybe you should consider spending more time among us. We might surprise you.
Spent plenty of time, and it always comes down to the same squabbles over food and love, money and lust, desperation for warmth, either from the fire or from someone else. And all of it, they forget their place. All I'm here to do is to remind them of what they took from us, and to reclaim it for what it once was. Surely you can understand.
Well, I was just wondering, as you were talking, what, pray tell, do you spend your time? How do you busy yourself without mortals around? What do you squabble over?
It has been a long time since I've walked the forests of my home. Stuck here on that oath of vengeance I swore. But with vengeance soon to be satisfied, finally I can return and mourn her as she deserves to be mourned.
Mourn who?
A kindling, a rekindling is coming, my dear Lesley. I would hate for you to be caught into the flames of it, so you're welcome to join the performance, join the song, and join the cycle of new. You're welcome to come to the announcement. But the song will continue without you either way.
And there's nothing that can be done to change your mind about this.
My course was set long before your short little life can establish, until the wrongs are fixed and the world returned to the blooming wonder it once was. My path is set and I must walk it.
I was just wondering. It feels that there's something here. Something that keeps... Well, I feel it too, but I mean something that keeps bringing you back to myself and my comrades. I was just wondering what that was. We are all mortals, as you despise.
You all are out of place. Let's call it kindred spirits. I thought maybe of all the people that I've come across, maybe you all would understand. I certainly hope I'm still to be proven right.
You might understand, but I don't know that we approve.
it would be a shame for you to be lost in the fires too. And with that, there is a burst of the fire in the fireplace that momentarily blurs your vision with light, and you find yourself drifting off into the darkness, the after images of this dance hall remaining in your memories of a vaunted dance hall with banners of blue and pearl. You fade into darkness and into your dreams once again. Togrim, you surface in this dream in a dance hall befitting a rural setting. Tall, open wooden beams in the ceiling, a crest of a pearl surrounded by swan wings rests atop a pride of place. A large open dance area, and then ranks of tables and chairs for people to eat at. Fireplaces on either side provide an ambient warmth to the chamber. You don't take much of that in as you see Amhrain, the tall, elegant, long-eared elfin figure with rolling red hair and a cloak of autumn leaves, approaching you with a blackwood fire, blackened violin. Tiny Togrim, I'm so glad you could make it. Come in, come in. This is going to be the greatest experience you'll ever know. So come, take my hand, witness the performance this empire has never seen.
What are you... You were in my head.
Astute observation.
What? Why did I set things on fire? That was you, wasn't it?
A little leitmotif. A gift.
I'd rather not be burning people and things.
Look, I only gave you a little tune to think about. Perhaps to muse over what I'm succeeding, if you ask me, to do. Just so happened you came across the situation that called for it.
What are you trying to do?
I am here to right the wrongs of sins long forgotten by an empire that marches on and leaves remnants and death in its wake. That's all.
So you want justice?
Exactly. You understand when a loss, when promises are broken, there are necessary ramifications. I am that ramification.
But so many people are hurt that weren't involved.
Blood is on the hands of their generations. When you're imprisoned in silent ice for so long, it becomes hard to appreciate the passing of mortals.
How old are you? How long have you been
Time is
imprisoned?
Not something I tend to bother myself with. Although ever since I've been on this side of the divide, I suppose it is more pertinent. It has been many seasons since I have returned home, and I expect it to be at least one more until I do.
So you do? Until you return.
How much do you understand about the concept of promises, oaths, commitments given,
I mean, the general idea.
To
Of a
one
promise.
such as myself, they are binding. They are not things to be broken. They are as concrete as the time passing for you. I will see my work done, but I see in you and those you travel with kindred fellows embered sparks that could be kindled in the flame, out of touch, distant, out of place with the world that you find yourselves in, the empire that you find yourselves in.
Why us? I don't think I want to go around burning things.
Change is coming, little man. It is up to you whether you wish to be on the safe side of the fire or within it. A rekindling is coming. But first I must make an announcement. You're welcome to come to the announcement and make your decision. I would welcome you and all of your friends to join me in the grand performance to come.
When is this announcement?
Full moon rises soon. Don't waste your times. And you find yourself being pulled back from this scene as it stretches like the dream fading into the darkness. And you see above you the moon, Perios, the fractured pieces of its broken sister, and you can see it waning, it waxing, and full moon will be not too far away. And you find yourself fall into darkness and once more into slumber. Tauri, you find yourself in a dance hall. Not that you're familiar with it, but you're familiar with the concept, having performed in them in the past as part of quartets providing the waltzing music. There are fireplaces either side, banners hung up in blue and pearl white, and dancing couples on a waltzing stage, and not even weaving through them as the dance almost revolves around them. Amhrain with their flowing red hair and autumn leaf cloak leaving floating petals on the breeze, approaches you. Violin in hand, still playing away. Tauri, my fellow performer, I'm so glad you could make it. Come in, come in. Join the performance, will you? And you find yourself holding your lute.
Apparently, I'm joining no matter what.
Well,
This seems to be...
I certainly
Slightly,
would. Go on, bro.
slightly discordant there with your music.
I don't know what you mean. And just continues playing, and it is definitely a minor key, but it's a melody that is somehow rousing within it, like it is encouraging the coming forth of something new and bright, despite the minor key. One talented to a performer to another, you can appreciate the show that I have been conducting across these fields. You can be a part of that production, help return something that has been lost.
Returning something that has been lost doesn't mean that you need to harm people, though.
Depends who you ask. If the thing that was lost in the first place was lost in blood and blade and broken promises and whispers of betrayal.
Then you have a possible recompense with those who broke their promises, but not with innocents.
Depends who you define broke them. If an empire made the promise, then the empire broke the promise, and where does an empire stop?
With the
Where does an
people who
empire
don't.
begin?
Well, some would say that an empire begins with the people, but others would say that the empire is whoever is in charge. People cannot break a promise if they were never told they'd made a promise.
But when those in charge make promises for everyone, there are tenets to agreements with myself, with my queen, that when broken there are ramifications that you limited consciousnesses can struggle to comprehend. I am that
Try it.
situation.
Try me.
What do you want to know?
What were the promises that were broken?
Many, large, small, agreements between mortals and spirits about borders and fair treatment and deals and paths and growth, and through it all they just wanted more and more and more, until it wasn't enough that they had cut us off from our kin on the other side. It wasn't enough that they had turned lands of wild beauty and chaos and joy into monotonous seas of swaying grain to just feed the hungry mouths that ever stopped growing.
Do you not find beauty in grass?
There is no beauty in the same thing. End on end, season on season. Life evolves, life changes, life is reborn in fire.
Not all life is reborn in fire.
There is fire in everything.
I think birth would say different.
What are
Birth
the
is
fires of passion that conceive the child?
what of a child born of unbecoming?
What are the fires of want and fury and rage and fear?
I would
Fire
dispute that
is
is
in
not
it.
fire.
Well, that is where we come back to mortal consciousness. There is a rekindling coming, Tauri. The opening chords to a performance unlike this empire has ever seen. A show that it won't forget. It is clear that you, despite your honeyed words and performative fingers, have a limited grasp on the concepts. I'm willing to enlighten you. You're welcome to come to the announcement of the show. But it would be a shame if you were caught in the fires itself.
I may show. That does not necessarily mean that I agree with you and your cause.
It would be a certain shame if the kindred spirits who I found by chance in that auditorium, the ones who felt a disconnect from the land and people they were within, failed to see the promise of a new dawn I bring.
You speak of the future, and yet it is not so yet.
Time flickers like the candle in the wind. I'll see you soon. And you feel
We shall
yourself
see.
drawn back in that dream sense as the dream begins to stretch and fade into darkness. You take in...
If you hurt... As that happens, I will just say, if you hurt the innocents without due cause, I will bring your masterpiece down.
There are no innocents here.
There
You
always
just
are.
fade into blackness before you even get to respond. Ximori, you find yourself in a vaunted rustic dance hall, perhaps similar to the one in memories buried and long forgotten from your youth. There are waltzing couples on a dance floor, gently kindled fireplaces, providing a level of warmth and orange light to the scene. And moving through the waltzing couples, it's like the dance shifts around them to the tune of their blackened wood violin, is the long draping cloak of Amhrain, a cloak of forgotten summers and fires to come. Ah, a man who seeks nothing more than the escape of civilization. Ximori, I'm so glad you could make it. Come in. Come in.
Nervously approach, like, trying to feel out if I'm actually here or if I'm in a dream, or both. Or neither.
In you, I can see that you wish to be free of the shackles of civilization. You yearn for that freedom of the wilds. That's all I want too.
I think there's a bit of a misconception you're getting.
Please, do enlighten me.
I want freedom, yeah, but to be myself.
Certainly.
Not. I just don't want to be pursued. I don't. Cities are loud, but sometimes there's drinking and dancing. I don't want the end of buildings and civilizations, and I certainly don't want theatres burning down in front of me.
I mean, I appreciate a theatre as much as the next person. But prices have to be paid. Vengeance must be meted. And what has been lost must be refound.
I guess that makes sense, but
I want you to understand here. I don't do what I do out of vindictive malice. No, I'm bound by promises given to enact the payment for promises broken. That's all. A judgment in fire and song.
so you'll burn away towns and houses, people who have spent their petty decades putting together somewhere to live, somewhere to bring out an existence.
And what of the ones that they displaced? What of the ones that were left
nature,
without
mate.
a home already? Yes, it is nature, and nature also lives in cycles. One strength grows, the predator grows, and the prey dies off until the predator has no more food. The prey returns.
I've seen
There are
plenty of
cycles.
prey grow its own teeth, grow its own claws.
Oh, I discovered that once. And unfortunately, my fires are not that easy to quell.
I could say the same.
Well, it seems we are of kindled spirits.
Let's see what you did there.
I seek
But-
a chorus to my performance. I want to be clear, I don't seek an end to this entire mortal existence. These people have a right to live, but as do mine.
You've got an entire plane to do that on.
You see
Seems a bit greedy to one another.
You see a distant look in his eyes. It's a look that you've felt before of an inability to return. A longing for home, or something similar. There was once
Maybe.
harmony between us and you. That
Now you
harmony
trapped
was
it.
broken by a discord.
But now you're trapped here.
I'm trapped here until I see my song complete. A song of burning restoration. Only with the removal of the broken song can a new, fresh one rise in its place.
Or you're a campfire left behind, wilting away into the night. I guess it depends on your view.
I won't deny my embers were cooled, and I've spent some time restoking the flames. But there is a rekindling coming, my wild friend, a igniting of a flame that this empire will not forget. But first, an announcement. After all, what good is a show if no one turns up? So, please, do come and witness the promise of a performance of fire, song, and life. I wouldn't want you to miss it. The moon is becoming full, Ximori. I hope to see you soon. And the scene begins to stretch as the dream begins to fade into darkness. And take a fleeting look around, see if you recognize anything, and all you see are the glittering stars, the waxing moon, and a lake beside the hills. As darkness once again envelops you in a reassuring hug, as you hear Bast's voice go, I want him. I need him.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both.
Let us grow together.
I suppose this does feel like a hunt that I want to follow to the end.
Let us learn of our new prey. And then silence encompasses you, and you are taken into sleep once more. And with that, you all surface the next morning, in the final day of Tianlong, the 17th of Afakadair, in your borrowed house in a city none of you are familiar with. What do you want to do?
Is there any sound system or does that like in this house? Is there like a record player? Is that a thing?
Bluetooth speaks in every room. Connected
Just
to
a very
a
small, a very small bard in a box.
Can I turn the little bad on and make him instrumental?
If you were in a more magical nation, I would agree with this. But you're not.
Fine. Is there a science version of a little bard in a box?
There's like a normal bard in a bed next to you.
Yeah, there's Tauri.
Tauri, play classical musical. Play classical music.
Classical musical.
Hey, Tauri, play classical
Play
music.
classic music. Sorry.
All that happens is a boot flies at Aderyn's head.
That's on me.
You know, the Tauri dot really is much more economical.
Fine, I'm forced to hum classic music myself then. I'm gonna try and hum the song from the dream, like, as I get ready.
What about your drum?
That's the accompanying background.
So the rest of us are waking up to bong, bong, bong.
With the humming on top.
Do you remember this tune? Bang, 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 bang.
Lesley is gonna wake up. I guess I don't know if Lesley and Aderyn are still like sharing space.
Yeah.
And then Leslie's waking up like, oh yeah, this is good. Familiar.
Thanks. I dreamt it.
As I sort of come to, can I just like take my little wooden like flute out of like my boot and just start picking up the tune as well? Is it something like that?
Oh shit! It's a jam session.
It's like you're reading my mind, Ximori.
I'm not.
It's exactly how I remember the tune.
So well, last night I had such a pleasant dream.
What?
I didn't.
I did.
How did
You
you
didn't?
sleep?
No, I did not.
I had a great dream. What did you guys dream?
I think it was about a party.
I was in like a. Do you ever go to like a barn hall, like a mead hall kind of place? I don't know if you've got them where you are, Aderyn.
Like, with,
We're all downstairs. Like jam session downstairs.
yeah.
Or did
Yes.
Ximori go into Aderyn's room? Go in.
Just follows the sound of a drum. It's like
Like, with seats and people dancing, like that kind of hall.
yeah, like a sort of big wooden hall kind of place.
Yeah, that's what I dreamt last night.
Huh. That's weird.
I think we might be spending too much time together, guys.
Did you get the message too? Mine was definitely, you know, when dreams are like lucid, but like
No, there wasn't anyone called Lucy in my dreams. Oh, there might have been. I didn't ask all the dancers.
mine had the, you know, the redhead, the fire dude.
The sexy Amrain. I also dreamt of him.
So did I.
He's quite good looking, to be fair.
I think I'm
That's
assuming
weird.
this happened in the living area. Balrick's in the kitchen making people coffee, and as he hears them talk about that, he puts his head in his hand like, "Oh no!"
I'm curious how Togrim's reacting to us playing a song.
Yeah,
If he wasn't,
funny
Sorry,
feeling we all had the same dream. Or
But I hope we didn't all have the same dream.
a
What did-
similar.
what did you do with him?
We all dreamt of Amrain, I'm wondering.
Yes. Did you all dance?
No.
Oh?
Definitely
Did
not.
you dance?
You done?
Yeah.
Trying to flirt with the
I was-
Fey demon.
I wasn't flirting. I was actually telling him off.
I was doing that too, just with less dancing.
Geth, could I remember if the ball or all the dancers were dressed up like a masquerade?
Roll me a wisdom check.
Try to remember a dream.
Yeah.
Ooh, wisdom, yeah? It's just to check so I don't add my proficiency, do I?
It's not a saving throw, it's a check, so you get half your proficiency.
Cool. Then a dirty 20.
No. None of them were wearing masks.
Okay.
But weirdly, like, suddenly you didn't have any clothes, and it was the first day of school. And oh my god.
You went to school?
Yeah,
You didn't.
I went to school.
Not for very long, I assume.
Hey, I was quite okay with, like, maths and stuff. I had, like, a clerical job in, like, a small town, in the Agricultural Commission, actually.
Well, fair.
Yeah. Like, I know how to read and write.
This is not
I'm not
your
an
3rd
idiot.
edition Barbarian anymore, lady.
I'm not an idiot.
So if we all had the same exact dream, but not quite exactly the same, because none of you danced. What did you guys speak about?
Usual sort of conversations with guys who aren't you, so veiled threats at each other.
Wasn't so much threats, just questioning.
He is
I asked
having
him why
a
fire, essentially.
he's having a big reveal sometime soon.
Yeah,
he
like
said
full
the new
moon or
to
something.
me.
Yeah.
And we're
Moon,
all
yeah.
invited.
I don't want to go.
And neither do I. I don't think I want to be invited, thanks.
But do we need to go in order to try and stop anything that's going to happen?
They offered to
Or at least,
me
well,
join.
because the challenge is we can't exactly tell people, otherwise they'll ask how we know.
They want us on side.
Yeah, they said, do you want to be like immune to the fire or in it?
You did? Did you all get offers?
I mean, kind of.
Amrain called me and him kindred spirits.
He
Yes.
said we were kindled spirits, so, like...
Kindled spirits.
he
For the
said
guy, I
kindled
didn't get
spirits.
offered anything. Now I feel used.
Maybe he just wanted to dance with you.
He
He didn't
started
ask
about
anyone else to dance, even though we were batting our eyelids very beautifully.
he spoke a lot about broken promises.
He
Yeah,
did.
also, he can't go home. He talked about that. He can't go home anymore.
He did speak to me about his queen.
Did not
Has it
mention
actually?
Queen.
Maybe he was trying to make me jealous.
Maybe you were privy to information
mentioned a
we didn't
woman.
get.
To me. Either that or Earth. I couldn't tell. The speakers were a little bit crackly.
In the dream.
I don't really want to complain. It was quite a nice change from my usual dreams, but shouldn't we be worried about the fact that he can just enter our minds?
Probably. But,
I
I mean, then I just, like, stop speaking and, like, message into Aderyn's mind. Like, but then we can kind of do this as well.
Yeah, but
everyone
not
else, I
while
just
people...
go, but yeah, and then I stop talking.
I'm like,
Sentence.
I respond, yeah, but not while people sleep. That's creepy.
Yeah, that is true. Although I did try to speak to you once when you were asleep. It didn't
That's
work.
creepy.
So to the rest of us, them two have just gone blank and stared dead at each other.
Well,
Stop
you
talking in your heads.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You know, you've gotten quite used to that. For one who
I mean,
doesn't like
it's
it.
kind of just like talking, though. And, like, I'm doing it.
I knew
And I'm not using it to, like, fuck with people's heads.
So, just to recollect, we know Amrain is planning something big.
Mm-hmm.
He strikes me as a bit of a performer, and I think to all of us, he started debuting a new song. I would assume logically there is one very significant event where a song could be debuted and cause some issues. I don't know how big this masquerade party that we were invited to was, but it seems like it might be the event.
Is it on the full moon, though?
Is it on the
Yeah.
floor? Is it? Getting?
Can I know that with nature stuff?
Phases the
That's
moon
that's
getting?
not hard to know. Currently, the as of last night, the moon was a waxing crescent.
Oh,
That's some miles away.
But what about the other two moons?
The moon has a 27-day cycle. The next full moon is in just over a week and lasts 2 days.
What about the other two moons?
One of the moons is a broken moon, so it is literally just pieces of asteroid.
I was
essentially.
fucking kidding.
Go on there. And the other moon, Calabar, is a cursed moon that you absolutely don't want to refer to. Don't include that in astrological charts. That's chaos. It also doesn't have a regular cycle, so it's impossible to track.
The idea of a
Don't
moon
fuck
having
with me when it comes to world
like,
building, bitch.
Sometimes it lightens up and then darkens again, and then like that. Full.
So it's just like it's
Like,
going round and
days,
round, and it's just like I'm tired of going this way.
Genuinely, yeah.
The ball.
That's
and
not even a
the-
joke. If any of you were remotely interested in studying celestial bodies, you would know that fact. It doesn't behave as an ordinary body.
Tree body problem.
what a problem. How many days again?
You have just over a week until the first night of the full moon.
About 8 days.
Acting as a dual pendulum system. Alright. Well,
Okay.
if they're being honest and they'll do something on the full moon, it means that we've got. It's not going to be the masquerade.
Ages. I think we
Does it
can
mean?
chill out for a bit.
But does that mean on the full moon we should be like far away from people in case?
He won't be doing it where we are.
I
They
mean, he
have a-
kind of did it with Togrim though before, didn't he?
Yeah,
That was a small taste, I think.
He has a place in mind.
he kind of used me as a physical body to do it.
He doesn't need anyone. We saw
I
him.
mean, he
in
has a
Hotel.
place in mind.
I think they have a place in mind.
What?
Did anybody
This
recognize?
is the big reveal. So far, nobody knows why the fires have started. I suspect on the full moon they will reveal themselves. They won't want anyone to steal their firelight.
Do you have any ideas what that place might be? Because
Can I have a think?
big towns, but there are lots of them.
You got 8 days, so
Saying have a
Incorrect.
think, you need what is your narrowing down of field? Because there is a lot of towns.
My feeling is it won't be in the middle of the field because there's no one around. It might be a slightly bigger town if he's going to hit a town, preferably somewhere with an amphitheatre, possibly a large city, somewhere that might be close to an old Fey site or an old Fey crossroads.
he really hates the Empire. He kept talking about like prey and predator cycles and like how it's like the end of one and like what came before, all that sort of thing. So what if it was like, nah, sorry, my intelligence is 9. That's as far as the thought takes me.
They mentioned to me broken promises and the Empire always wanting more and never being happy with what they agreed to in the first place. Perhaps there's a city that has gone under large expansion or something such since before the first set of fires.
Do you want to roll a history check?
I think we do.
Anyone
And I
from
roll
the...
a remembering check because I was alive when the last fires happened.
Indeed, you can.
Do I get a little help from my friend?
Not on this, I'm afraid. Ah, Bryn's just lit up.
17.
14.
Tauri? Didn't pick that up, but I've read your lips as 22, so that's fine. Togrim and Tauri. The founding and the construction of the city of Resmanthal, the the sister city to Andamon on this side of the Tyson Sea coincided, or the foundation happened a few years before the Fae Fires began originally.
Where is the city?
Just
Southern
north of
edge
the
of
Blacklean Fields.
The southern edge of the sea.
Yeah. So where you were in Kalkerth, basically straight north.
That's a far journey, though.
From you, yeah. Multiple weeks to get there.
Not days. Okay.
But I guess we steer clear of there. Not that we could even get there in time.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. That's like a couple weeks away at least.
What if that's exactly where we need to be to stop things from happening?
Ah, then we're fucked.
If you all got offers to join him, did he tell you why? Perhaps if we know why us specifically. Well,
You
except
wanted-
me.
He feels we are not
He thinks we don't belong, and because of that,
Wanted
we might
a
have
in the
Tauri.
Empire.
to towards him.
Yeah, he knows that, like you said, kindle spirits. None of us
You want-
are fond. Well, I'm not fond of the Empire, and sounds like they're not either.
He wanted
Why are we-
for us.
Why are we even? Why is it up to us to help this place? That's on the other side of the Empire. Why should we be expected to protect it in 8 days to get a multiple-week journey?
What are we going to do when we get there anyway?
I don't know, but I think we have to help.
Yeah, but he's like really powerful.
Well, just normal folk, you know.
Then why
The Empire's digging its own grave.
Why did we catch his interest then? There's plenty of people that hate the Empire.
Because we're weird.
Okay,
You
well
know,
maybe
when I was like having a bad time, and like, you know, I mean, I killed a lot of people, but every so often, a couple of them,
Sorry.
you know, you let them run away. Basically, you let them run away, and you tell yourself it's because they're young. They did something, you know, maybe they were funny, or they remind you of someone. But you let one or two go, and you can justify it then. Because occasionally you can be kind, or occasionally you can find something that reminds you of what you've lost.
I think you need some therapy, Ximori. You really need therapy.
Absolute silence for a solid minute, and then that.
Kevin's gone.
That's episode title. That's episode title done. That's episode title done. I think you need some therapy, Ximori.
I love you, Stephen.
If it helps, I'll offer. If it helps, I will. Hold on, I just need to.
Offer therapy sessions.
Bard of
No,
knowledge of
but I
therapy.
will. That'll be fun. No, I will offer a therapy dog.
Unfortunately, on the capture, that is just hidden behind the Tauri image in the bottom right corner of your frame.
I mean, in that case, they can go to the Instagram.
I will.
Pay for the dog.
I was gonna say I was gonna find like a clip art of Corgi that I'll just like put over the top.
Your two only
I hope you're
calls.
ready for if I. I hope you're ready for if I ever visit home again. This.
I look forward to it.
does that
I mean,
mean
yeah.
you want to
I
do
probably need
something, Ximori?
Even if I did, We can't get there.
We can't, but maybe someone can.
The question then becomes, why and how do we know this when nobody else does?
Yeah, like how do we convince them that it's not us starting the fires?
Stupid. So you're saying that we have the chance to try and help the Empire, who doesn't deserve it, but still we're trying to be nice, and they wouldn't accept the help, instead they'd condemn us because...
Yes.
The Empire is a place where magic is dangerous until proven not. We can't prove anything. It is just our word. They are more likely to throw us in jail or kill us than take a risk, because that is what magic is here.
And if they start asking more questions about why we had this magical dream, or why we know so much about these fires, they might find out more things, like about you or me.
Well, if we can't...
Go ahead.
If we can't get help from the Empire, and it's the Empire's fault anyway, then is there some way to convince him to direct this fire or this anger or whatever to the people in charge of the Empire instead of the innocents?
As far as he is concerned, there are no innocents. I've already asked him this. The Empire broke the promise. Those in charge of the Empire spoke for the Empire when these promises, agreements, oaths, or whatever were made. In his eyes, anyone.
The impression I got is that this is more of a vengeance thing. I also said no innocence, and they said, well, what about their innocence? They got killed.
The way he was talking to me, like, it doesn't matter if he's personally involved, he's bound to do this, no matter what.
A way to find out more about his, about the past of Fays. About this person he lost. He's clearly quite hung up on them.
He said something about being imprisoned in ice or something like that to me.
Exactly. Maybe we don't have to travel so far. Maybe there's information nearby we can have a look at.
I mean, the Fae fires weren't, like, the last ones weren't that long ago, like...
There are people around who remember.
Yeah, I was like 30 at the time. I think I was about 30. It all sort of blurs a bit.
I maybe mean more historical than that. Maybe preceding the fires.
You can try the library, I guess.
Well, you guys have made many trips to the libraries. Did you notice any books that might discuss the goings on of the Fae?
You haven't looked for those books, is the short answer.
We've only been once.
Would that sort of
it is definitely worth going
in a library?
Maybe. It's less a religious
in one
thing.
of the restricted ones. But again, anything to do with agreement and such are probably not going to be where anyone can find them.
Fae don't go by libraries and
the Fae may. The Fae may not, but the Empire would.
I'm saying the best way to track and talk to understand Fae might be in nature itself. Even just me, I'm starting to feel restricted by multiple days in a city. Fae creature couldn't last very long at all.
I know.
The best is to go out into nature.
I know it might not be ideal, but would the hag know anything?
Fucking hag.
Creature of fear.
That is a long way away.
That's a distance, and the less dealings we can have directly with fear, the better.
But she might.
Maybe she'll answer you.
She does seem
Maybe
to
I
like
could-
you.
Maybe I could try to message her somehow.
Is that a thing you can...
No, but I can try. Maybe if I make a
Perhaps
doll of her.
Perhaps after tomorrow we should consider what we're going to do. Does it make sense for a core group of us to stay here and research, while those who have other talents go elsewhere?
Love the idea of splitting up, if I'm being honest. We're a team. We're Lesley and the Bastards, we're the Firebugs, we're the Stoats. We can't split up.
The hell's the Stoat?
Don't worry about it. They're like goats, but cute.
Well, I mean, like, my primary skills are lifting heavy things and hitting things.
More skills than that.
I don't know if I am.
You are very good at both those things.
And other things too.
Among others, obviously. You do excel at those. What would going into nature to find out, to commune with nature? Sounds very hippy dippy. How would that work?
I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm getting tired of this city. It's draining on me.
We have to, like, find an old forest. They've got to be old ones, because, like, young ones don't work as well.
For what?
See if there's, like, a ancient forest spirit. You remember that weird deer we saw?
Oh yeah. That's quite beautiful.
There is a big forest near here, isn't there?
Across the mouth of the river.
Is it less than, is it like an hour or so's walk away?
I mean, you can't
Right.
walk across water, but sure.
Humour me.
There's a bridge, Sherlock.
There is not a bridge across the mouth of the Amazon mouth.
Oh, is there not? Oh, well, okay.
The Neon
quite a
is
big
like
boat.
the Amazon. It's huge.
Okay, so we will not be getting there in a day.
We could take a boat, probably.
In a day? Still? Oh, I want to be back tonight.
That's how much money you want to spend, I guess.
Why would we want to
You
rush it?
won't
Why not
find
just wait
anyone
for it?
taking
Yeah.
money today.
That's also true. It is Tianlong still. Might find some foreigners doing it, but, like, it's unlikely.
We cannot do anything until tomorrow.
Still
Better
think
for us to
we can plan. We have a day.
agree, but we cannot start doing anything until tomorrow. Nothing is going to be available during Tianlong.
The libraries are closed, right?
We were very lucky to get in when we did.
Besides, we've still got business in the city.
We have so much stuff commissioned.
Well,
Let's just make sure we're on guard for tonight. I feel like there's stuff on the ball.
okay. Well, with a lot of options available to you, and not necessarily a clear path forward, and quite a lot of unanswered questions and ambiguity over the threat that you are aware of, I think we'll end this chapter of the story here. And we zoom out, taking in the house in the Horizon Ward overlooking the city of Jir-Dothras on the final day of Tianlong, as the populace of the city have completed their dawn mass and are returning to their final stages of the celebration, including the end of celebration parade that will wind its way through the city. But we'll pick up this story next time and see what entails then. Until then, see you later.